Hello, we will create a AirNav visual approach using ArincDecoder. Hopla. We will create an approach on an airport in the middle of nowhere in the center of Australia, near Arinc. That's an example, of course. This place, Arinc, in the desert, has one runway only, runway 1331. Here is this runway. We will create an approach landing on the runway 31, and it will be a AirNav visual approach. So landing like that. For that, I have to get the position of the runway and to create a FAF point. It will be about this position. So for this, I have to go in the module procedure design. From here, now I can create a new procedure. The procedure name, at this side, it will be AirNav, like a R, 31.v vector for visual. The airport, so it will be Yankee Alpha Yankee Echo, and it's an approach. By pushing this button, I will get all the data of the airport. That will be the runway, the waypoint terminals, all the data of the airport. They are coming. So that's the solution to create an approach, but I already have an Arinc file. It's quite every time necessary. I got now all the waypoint terminals that exist and are published. Okay, for this runway approach name, push OK. Here I have the message that says that it's a tailored approach, but I get some data officials that the software has to convert the data. It will be okay. So this approach, now I have to create everything. So I said we have the runway and we want to create a FAF about here. So I have to take the data of the runway to obtain the physical and true heading between runway 13, runway 31, and to find the FAF. I have to go from runway 13, I press on the runway 13, and I press on this little button with a compass, and I get the position of the threshold. Do the same for the other threshold, and I have both data and the distance, and what I need was the heading. So here I just have to put the track 129.5 and the distance for the FAF. The distance is something we don't know at what distance we want the FAF to be. So we have to compute that. So we want to arrive around here at about 3,000 feet, and we need to know the distance from the threshold to the FAF that cross the glide path at an angle of 3 degrees from 3,000 feet to the threshold. So I need I need the calculator just to see that from 3,000 feet minus the threshold crossing height, we have to lose 1,324 feet. Okay, we lose 318 feet per nautical miles, so that will be something like 4 nautical miles and 16 cents. 4.16. Okay, so I go back in my module and I will put the distance I need. So we want to find 416 nautical miles from threshold 31. So I need threshold 31 here. Press on this button. The track, I remember, is 129.51 degrees and the distance is 4.16. I do compute, oops, and here I have the new position of the point that will be here in the FAF. I freeze that. That gives me the possibility to plot it. Okay, I think it's the good position. We will, of course, verify after. So this point, we have here its coordinates. By pressing on the little c here, I copy the coordinates. I go in the procedure design module and I will add the waypoint. I add a waypoint. Its name will be the FAF. We can put any name here, but I will put FAF. The coordinates just past the coordinates I just copy, and here is my waypoint. I press on OK, and it is here. This is the FAF. In the same way, we have the FAF, and we can have also an intermediate fix or a final approach course fix, sorry. And this one will be, in general, 2 nautical miles after the FAF and before the FAF. So I press always on this button, and now on the same track, I ask 2 nautical miles, a point also. This point will have, go back, this point will have those coordinates, and it will be the first approach course fix. I copy, I make a new waypoint, terminal waypoint, add waypoint, sorry. This one will be the first final approach course fix. With the coordinates I just copy, I press OK, and I have my new final approach course fix. Okay? Okay, so from now we can start our procedure. I have to give it a name. R31 Victor, and I put FSCF will be the initial fix. Okay, I got my first line. The point after will be the FAF. I press on the point I need, and I say it will be the FAF. Up. So we have a true fix will be the FAF with an angle, I didn't change it, of 3 degrees. The FAF is at 3,000 feet. I put it in before. And the point after will be the runway. That's a very simple approach. The point after will be the runway. We computed, it's done by the soft, that the altitude of the runway and the threshold crossing height of this runway at this angle is 1,676 feet. I ask the runway, and now I have the missed approach point, true fix, at this altitude, on this angle. The date will be something we will change after. Everything will be easy to change after. So now we can save it, and we can see on the map what is done. We try it. I see there's no message. The path would be marvelous, flat at 3,000 feet, the FAF, and we're going back, going down. On the map, looks like exactly what we were expecting to have. FACF, 2 nauticals, the FAF, and after that, our runway. We can also see our procedure on Google Earth in 3D. Here's our beautiful procedure in 3 dimensions, going to this beautiful runway in the middle of the desert. We will have here the higher rock. Here it is. So from now, what we can do is we can add some transitions, some via on this procedure. It will be easy to make a tango approach. For that, we have the first approach crucifix, the FACF. So we'll have to put some legs from EAF intermediate approach fix to the FACF and another one from here at 90 degrees from the final leg. Easy. The FACF is this one. So now we don't have to compute from the track from runway to FAF, but it will be 90 degrees more. So it will be 90 degrees more, it will be 29.51. The distance is in general 5 or 4 nautical miles. I will put 4 nautical miles. I compute and I have a new point here. Up. This one will be one of the two IRF. A new waypoint is done. Up. We call it EF1, for example. Up. The EF1 is here. Another one will be not from our FACF, not this angle, but 180 degrees difference, so it will be 39.51 degree. I do compute also this other point, and this is the other. I made a copy of the coordinates. This is the other EAF, number 2, for example. I copy the coordinates, and here we have. Now I have two new EAF, and I have to create, that's what is interesting, some via, and the transition are in this window here. And we can ask this EAF1, EF here. The transition will be EAF1, for example. We can put anything here. And here is my transition EAF1. And this is that this point in initial fix will have to go to the first approach course fix. So now I go and take my first approach course fix, and I say go TF, true fix. Sorry, the solution was to click on the via, but I forgot to. That's not a problem. EF1. Yeah. We can, the red, we don't have any heading, we don't have any distance. That's mandatory for the Arinc 424 format. It's very difficult to compute, but there's a beautiful button here, base data, and the data is automatically computed by the computer, okay, by the software. So we have a transition from EAF1 to first approach crucifix, and after that we have the final approach. So one beautiful transition. We can create a second transition, EAF2, EF. So the via will be EAF2. Whoops. I click on it, and now I go with this transition also to the FECF, and I say a TF, of course, and it will be on this EAF2 FACF. So we have two transitions. I can save that, and after that we will see same that we have now in our desert, two new transitions, one from the south, one from the north, going to our runway. So from now, what we can do, only some miracles. We have our procedure here. So we can click on each line of the transition position. Here I see there's no trouble. Here I see I don't have the heading any distance. I know I can push on base data. I validate the distance for nauticals. On heading 35 degrees. Okay, I validate. It's okay. Same here, no trouble at all. It's an essential waypoint. We all know that. So no trouble. Last line, heading distance. I push on base data. I validate because it's the good heading. That's a good distance. It's okay. Same for the final procedure. No need to move anything into the first EF line, but for the second one, it's a true fix. Heading and distance are still missing. I validate. And the same for the last one, onto the MAPT, heading distance missing. I ask it to put the good data. I remember it was 416, it's 4.2 because it's rounded. It's okay. From here, we could code what we call missed approach procedure. We don't put it here. It's a visual approach. We don't put one. It's something going with a course to altitude and things different, and it will be for another video if needed. Okay, so we hope it was not so boring. If you enjoyed, please tell me, and I will do the same for a seed, a star, or an airway, or anything. Bye bye.